Joseph Patrick Bamford, better known by his ring name Jock McAvoy, was a British boxer who fought from 1927 to 1945. He held the British Empire Middleweight Championship from 1933 to 1939, and took the British Empire Light Heavyweight title in April 1937 by knocking out Eddie Phillips. Bamford was born in Burnley, Lancashire, but was billed as being from Rochdale. Bamford adopted the name Jock McAvoy so that his mother did not realize he was boxing. Initially discovered, trained, and managed by Joseph Tolley at Tolley's famous Rochdale Boxing Club, he was known as the Rochdale Thunderbolt. During his career he held the British and Commonwealth middleweight and light heavyweight titles. McAvoy's bid to capture the European middleweight crown was derailed when he lost a unanimous decision to future world middleweight champion Marcel Thil of France in Paris on January 15, 1935. On August 10, 1931 McAvoy officially held the BUFC Northern Area middleweight title when he defeated Joe Lothner at King's Hall in Manchester, England. Lothner's corner threw in the towel, ending the bout in 8 of 15 rounds. On April 10, 1933 McAvoy took the BUFC British middleweight title and British Empire middleweight title in a 15-round points decision from Len Harvey in Manchester, England. In 1935 McAvoy travelled to the United States of America, where he outpointed Al McCoy in November. On December 21, 1935, McAvoy was matched against the world middleweight boxing champion, Ed Briscoe at Madison Square Garden in a non-title bout. McAvoy, who outweighed his opponent by 7 pounds, floored Briscoe with a right to the jaw in the opening seconds. Briscoe was dropped 5 more times in the first round before being knocked out in 2:48. McAvoy had performed too well for his own good, and boxing politics being what they were, McAvoy was never allowed a rematch with the title at stake. McAvoy then decided to campaign as a light heavyweight in the United States. In November 1935 he made his debut in America, and won 2 fights in February 1936 before obtaining an NBA World Light Heavyweight title shot against reigning world champion John Henry Lewis at Madison Square Garden in New York City. On March 13, 1936 he was outpointed over 15 rounds by Lewis. After his unsuccessful bid to capture the world light heavyweight crown from John Henry Lewis in 1936, McAvoy returned to England, and his next fight was for the British and British Empire heavyweight titles held by Welshman Jack Peterson. Peterson won the 15-round fight on points in Kensington, London on April 23, 1936. After a fast start, the action slowed, and the crowd of 10,000 urged the boxers to mix. McAvoy picked up the pace, rocking Peterson with some flashy lefts, but was later down for a count of 8 from a right uppercut. He fought well, if cautiously, for the remainder of the bout, easily remaining on his feet throughout, despite Peterson's 12-pound weight advantage. McAvoy weaved continuously, and fought from a crouch, methods he had observed fighting in America. Though there were few fouls, Peterson was repeatedly warned for blows to the back of McAvoy's head. McAvoy took the BUFC British light heavyweight title from Eddie Phillips in a 14th-round knockout on April 27, 1937 at Empire Pool at Wembley. The match was featured as the semi-final bout. McAvoy officially lost the BUFC light heavyweight title to Len Harvey on April 7, 1938 in a fast 15-round decision at Haringey Arena. Harvey was cut over the right eye when both boxers bumped heads in the 3rd round, and so skillfully ducked a blow by McAvoy in the 10th, that he nearly toppled from the ring. McAvoy lost another BUFC World Light Heavyweight title in a 15-round decision against Len Harvey on July 10, 1939 before an incredible crowd of 100,000 at White City Stadium in London. The title was sanctioned as both a World Light Heavyweight and BUFC Light Heavyweight title bout. In the 2nd round Harvey was floored for a count of 1, but he finished strong to take the decision. According to the Associated Press, Harvey took a terrific beating in the 14th, but caught McAvoy in his corner, and beat him harshly with a series of right crosses. His most important remaining bout was against future light heavyweight world champion Freddie Mills, who beat him on points, and forced him to retire in the rematch with an injured back. McAvoy was a hard puncher who scored 88 KOs in his 132 wins. He lost 14 times, and was held to a draw once. McAvoy was included in the Ring magazine's list of 100 greatest punchers of all time. The boxing statistics site BoxRec rates McAvoy as the 10th best British boxer of all time, the 2nd best British boxer of all time in the middleweight division, behind Randolph Turpin, and the 39th best middleweight in the history of boxing. In 1951, He was stricken with polio, and used a wheelchair for the rest of his life. He had survived both diphtheria and a broken neck prior to his bout with polio. Suffering from insomnia and depression, McAvoy committed suicide by overdosing on barbiturates at his home in Partington, Cheshire, England, on November 20, 1971.